Okay, it's meal prep day, so that's what we're going to be doing. We will rewind a little bit of time and you can see what's been going on prior to now, but I figured I should go ahead and do the intro before I get too far into doing my meal prep. I feel like there's been a lot of drama already today, so I will include that in this video, despite the fact that you probably don't necessarily want to see it all. Oh, but it is meal prep day. I'm going to show you the groceries that I picked up, the meat that I took out of the freezer, and what we are making today to have us set up for success for the next few days. So stay tuned if you want to see some inexpensive, very easy to facilitate meal prep ideas that can make this lifestyle easy for you to do without chaos and without stressing out. So that's the plan for today. Stress-free, budget-friendly, easy peasy, pretty much anybody can do it. Meal prep for a very low carb or ketogenic. Wait, let's do this stuff.
All right, first on the docket, brown butter bites. Got 2 sticks of regular generic salted butter. I do not buy the bougie stuff. Got a medium little sauce pot, and I have currently got this on 7, and I'm going to throw these in there. All right, so we're going to let this go through all of the stages and get ready to become delicious brown butter bites. If you have not seen in the past, I do have a video on how to make these. I always use salted butter. Some people prefer the unsalted, but I personally really like them with that little bit of salt. I also lightly sweeten mine, but that is absolutely optional and completely unnecessary. But I actually use, I will show you, skinny syrup. Usually either the pumpkin or I'll use the regular vanilla. And then I also add a sprinkle of cinnamon. So if these are things that you enjoy, they are sweetened with Splenda, essentially with sucralose and ACE-K. So just, that's something to keep in mind. If it's not something that you tolerate well, then skip it or use stevia or monk fruit or just regular vanilla extract or whatever you like. But yeah, we're going to let this melt down and get to the nice, delicious brown butter point. All right, the brown butter has officially cooled off enough to go ahead and add it to my little tray. As you can see, all of these little brown pieces in here are the delicious little crunchies, and you want to save those. So what I'm going to do is actually kind of constantly stir it as I'm pouring it into my mold so that I get some of those little bits all throughout all of the brown butter bites that I have. So first, I'm trying to get as much of those down as I can. And I'm just going to kind of try to evenly divide this. All right. Last step. Kosher salt. Some nice coarse salt or flaky salt would be good too. And I just kind of sprinkle a little bit into each one. All right, everybody, we're in my laundry room. We are making some fluff. This is for Richard. Full disclosure, this is not clean. Okay, well, this is clean. This particular food is not clean. This is one of those things that for people that can do kind of a more dirty keto approach, it's an awesome replacement for like sweets. It is not something that I can do with any regularity, but it keeps Richard on track. And it also is a little sugar-free snack. that the kids might kind of dive into and get a couple of spoonfuls of every now and then rather than reaching for something worse. So in my opinion, it is less bad than some other options. So this is Keto Fluff. Let me show you how I make it. Okay, for ingredients, you're going to need 2 cups. This is only if you're using a large box. So this is the 1.5 ounce box, but 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 2 cups of unsweetened nut milk of your choice. So I'm using the unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and then the large box of vanilla flavored sugar-free pudding mix. Now, if I do this small box, I just cut these guys in half to 1 cup and 1 cup. But since I picked up the big box, this is what we're doing today. So I've got my stand mixer ready. Go ahead and pull that guy up. And we're going to pour in the half and half, or excuse me, the heavy whipping cream. All right. Now, if you turn this bad boy on high right away, you're going to get showered with heavy cream. So I'm going to put it on medium. But before I do that and it gets super loud in here, I'm going to go ahead and throw the cap on the floor. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 2 cups of the vanilla almond milk so that I can stick it back in the fridge. And I have shaken this really, really well too. There we go. All right. But meanwhile, we're going to start this, but I'm going to go ahead and switch it first to about level 6 so that it doesn't fling absolutely everywhere. Started to thicken a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pump this guy up on high, and we're going to mix this until it ends up with stiff peaks. Woohoo! Alright, now that we are at this nice thickened point, we're going to pour in the powdered pudding mix. And if you're a daredevil like me, you'll throw it on high for a second and a little bit of powder will go everywhere, but you'll survive. Okay, now, some people stop here. You can if you want to, but I like for this to be kind of light and airy and to dilute that heavy cream a little bit. So I'm going to turn this back on, and then I'm going to slowly drizzle in that vanilla almond milk and let everything whisk really, really, really well until it's all super incorporated and perfectly combined. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so this is what we look like when we come out of the mixer. It also will continue to thicken a little bit as it hangs out in the refrigerator. Now, if you want it a little bit more fluffy like a whip, you can always reduce the almond milk to 1 cup instead of 2, and it'll be a little bit thicker, but this is kind of the consistency that Richard likes it. So I just have a container here, and we're going to get all of it scooped in. And sometimes he will just grab this out of the fridge, take a couple bites, stick it back in there. Sometimes he will spoon this onto like a mug cake if he decides he wants a little protein mug cake. Sometimes he will put a couple of spoonfuls into a little bowl and eat it almost like ice cream. And you know, that works for me. Like, whatever. He's a grown-up. This is still way better than Reese cups and whatever other garbage he would normally touch. So I'm just going to put the lid on this, throw it in the fridge, and we have fluff. Okay, so I think I figured out what I'm going to do with this sausage. So I have 2 of these 13-ounce packages of the roasted garlic chicken smoked sausage. I'm going to use these along with this bag of stir-fry blend, which is broccoli, snap peas, green beans, carrots, celery, onions, red peppers. So that's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to cut these guys up into coins. That's what we're going to do now. Alright, now what I'm going to do is get this warmed up, basically on like a medium-high heat, so that I can brown these guys up before I add in the stir-fry vegetables. Alright, now that this is starting to get warmed up, I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Not 100% necessary, but because this particular sausage is the one made with chicken, it is lacking in fat, so I don't want it to stick to my stainless steel pan, so we're using butter. I'm going to let that get melted before I add in the sausage. Alright, I think we're ready. So we're just going to add all of this guy in. And I'm kind of a little coated in the butter. And I'm just going to keep turning them until they're all browned. Kind of to the desired brownness. Alright, here we are. They did stick a little, but you know, it'll be fine. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and add in the stir-fry mix. Probably use scissors, but I can't find my scissors. Alright, and dump this whole shebang in there. Hold up the knife. Back in the pocket. Alright, garlic powder. Not necessary, but I want to. Because there's no such thing as too much garlic. Okay. Alright, last but not least, this is what Richard uses when he does stir-fry vegetables on the Blackstone, and it is basically super watered-down combination of Worcestershire and a little tiny splash of soy sauce. Alright, I mean, that's it. Okay, last minute decision, I'm also going to add in this little package of broccoli florets, so that I'll have a little bit higher veg content in here, and I'm going to throw the lid on so that it cooks through a little bit better in there, you know, and I'll show you what it looks like when the broccoli is cooked through. Once I dig out the lid, put a lid on it, like the squirrel nut zipper said. Alright, that's pretty much where we're at. I'm pleased with it. This was super cheap, just so you all know. Between all of the veggies, that was $4, and each of these packs of the sausage were $1.50 in the markdown section several months ago, and I had them in the freezer. So, yeah, I mean, this is a lot of food for, what does that make that, $7? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yep. Especially for an impromptu little idea. Okay, so I have 2 packs of these, so altogether 8 little turkey burger patties. I tried to say turker, same thing. Anyway, I was trying to decide how I was going to cook them, and I decided air fryer. So I have my air fryer preheating to 375, and I have 2 of my air fryer racks right here that I am going to lay out on a piece of paper towel here in a second so that I can season these guys up. Okay, in touching these, I remembered why I never buy turkey. Alright, but you know what? It's protein and it's edible, so here we go. Alright, lay these little bad boys out if I can get them all off of the wax paper without dropping them or throwing them in my sink. Last one. Gimme. Okay. So here we are. Let me wash my hand. Hopefully dokley. Seasonings of choice. Seasoned salt. Garlic powder. Black pepper. We're going to go liberal on here since this is turkey. And it has no flavor. Alright. Seasoned salt. I kind of wish I had garlic salt, honestly, but this will do. Figure, like, when I used to make fried chicken, this is what I would always use on my fried chicken, so I feel like it's a poultry seasoning. Alright, garlic powder. You guys know how I garlic powder things. Okay. Black pepper. I'm getting to the bottom of my little tin of cheapo black pepper. Alright, here we go. And what I'm going to do is, halfway through cooking, I'm going to flip these over and season the opposite side. But I'm going to put these in my air fryer at 375 for, I think, probably about 6 minutes. And then I'm going to take them out and flip them and see how much longer we have to go. Okay, time to do the choppy chops for the Steakums, but not professionally. So I'll speed it up, but I'm going to chop everything up so that it is ready to saute here in a little bit for Steakums. So here we go. Okay, voiceover with a million birds chirping around me, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm just slicing up some onion, getting all of that. And I like it for the Steakums, I like it in kind of the bigger pieces. Doing the same thing with my bell peppers. It's funny, even though I run a produce department, I am not a professional chopper. But basically just going through, getting these nice slices of both the bell pepper and the onion all cut and ready to go, just to be able to saute down to go with the Steakums. So many birds this morning. Alright, so now I've got both of these. I'm going to go ahead and just get my pan heating up. And basically I'm going to set this to medium high, so I'm saying number 7 is kind of where I've got this guy starting to warm up, just to get ready for cooking. So melt down a little bit of butter. And again, this is all to make Steakums. Now, if you never buy Steakums, anytime they're on sale, they're an excellent choice. They are 100% beef. There's nothing crazy in them. Yes, it's like mechanically separated or whatever, but as far as I'm concerned, it's an inexpensive, especially when it's on sale. A lot of times it's like buy one, get one, but it's a really nice, inexpensive protein that's pretty clean. And because it's portioned, it's an easy thing to keep in the freezer. So the way that I'm doing this, I'm prepping the veggies ahead of time. So sauteing the onions, sauteing the bell peppers too, so that I can add them to the Steakums. But because the Steakums only take like literally 2 minutes, I'm going to do those at the time of eating, but I'm prepping the vegetables ahead of time. So this is just kind of to make that whole thing easier when the time comes. So I sauteed down the onions until they were starting to get translucent, added a little bit more butter, and now throwing in the green bell peppers. And we're just going to cook all of this down. I like to cook them down until they start to brown a little bit, just so that they're kind of a little bit more on the nice, like, tender side. Sometimes I'll even like actually char them to the point where we've got kind of some blackened sort of areas on them. But here we are. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of kosher salt, and then a good bit of black pepper. And my black pepper is almost empty, so I really need to pick up some more. I don't like the fresh, like the peppercorn cracker. Richard loves that, but I hate like biting into a chunk of peppercorn. It drives me insane. So I much prefer the little, the powder kind. So here we are. This is kind of where I stop. So everything is just starting to get a little bit of that brown color to it. All the veggies are nice and tender, and have a runaway bell pepper there. But just kind of getting everybody together and get it all coated. Everything's got that little bit of butter on there, some salt, pepper, good to go. So just to show you, this is what each
portion looks like. So each single portion that I'm laying down is considered one serving of 100 calories of Steakum. So I'm just going to throw these in my nonstick pan. You do not really need any kind of fat on the pan. You certainly can if you want to add it, but it's really not necessary. So at this point, they've just been on that one side on medium high, and I did salt and pepper them. And now I'm just going to flip them over so that the second side also browns. And you'll be able to kind of see what that browned side looks like. And now you can also chop them while they're frozen if you want to, but I like to wait until they're cooked through and just kind of chop them loosely a little bit so you end up with bigger chunks. And it, like, from start to finish, not sped up, under 2 minutes to cook the two little steak portions. So it's really just not not difficult, not painstaking or anything. I will say, like, each individual steak portion is not a lot, so I normally will have 2 or sometimes 3 if I'm having these for myself. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's so tasty. Of course you can add like provolone or mozzarella or cheese whiz or something if you like those things, but just by itself like this is, yeah, getting all my mess there, but it's just absolutely outstanding. So definitely recommend.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Oh. You meant the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know how you're doing. You're you.
Obviously.
Blondie. Well, silvery.
Yeah. At least I still have most of it.
What are you saying?
I was talking about my...
You're talking trash. People, help me out. Please. Help me out. I know that's a countdown to awful. I know it. She makes fun of it.
I do not. Shush.
Anyway, we're grilling chicken today.
Hey.
I don't really
Chicken.
understand why it's only 3 breasts, but it's like an alien movie.
Because the last time that we did a whole bunch,
Nothing?
I ended...
Anyway. Okay. Oh, look at the juices.
Okay. So what are your plans for your chickens?
I think that we are going to, once they are done, we're going to toss these in a 50-50 mix of ranch and Frank's buffalo wing sauce.
Yes.
Which creates something I like to call masterpiece sauce. I don't know if that's the patented.
It's not, because that's a KC
term.
Masterpiece thing. You can't use masterpiece. You've got to come up with something.
Sauce?
You've got to come up
They
with
don't own
something
sauce.
better. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it's called Red Deliciousness.
Okay, and so far when you've been making this chicken and then you toss it in the buffalo and the wing sauce and the ranch, what types of things have you been doing with it?
Naughty things. No.
So you've
I
had...
put it in low carb wraps. Lettuce boats. Which stink, by the way. I put them in straight into my face hole. Right out of the sauce. That's good as well. Favorite is lettuce boats, oddly enough. Romaine lettuce boats.
It's nice to have the crunch to
It
like
is, yeah,
well,
a little
because
freshness.
it's like the whole idea of like celery stalks
Yeah.
with wings.
Yeah.
It's like something
Sad
cold and
water
crunchy.
vegetable.
It's crunchy water
Mixed
to
with
it's like a
meat.
It's like the safe friend accomplice to a crime, like, or to okay, so say like there's one friend that goes and makes
I
the
know them.
bad decisions,
I've seen 'em.
but then you got the
I
one
don't
friend
know
that's
'em.
sitting there the whole time going, be sure you drink your water if you're going to
Yeah.
drink that many glasses of
Did
wine.
you register your gun?
Yeah.
No? Gotta register your gun.
So
Yeah.
so water is the mama bear of the plate.
How did we go to water?
I don't know.
We're gonna almost.
Okay. There's so much grill for only 3 pieces of chicken.
Don't judge me. Okay? Would I be grilling? I'd be grilling.
Mm-hmm. What about when you be tearing apart transmissions? How does that go?
Not so good. Not so good. Anybody who knows a 4L60E, please help out. Yeah. Comment below.
Yeah, this poor little girl, her transmission sits.
Yeah.
It's okay. We still love you even though you aren't a transmission guy. At least you're fixing my car this week.
Yeah, well, yours is a lot easier to fix than this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who invented the automatic transmission, but...
Oh my gosh.
I didn't say anything.
I'm going to have to put something over your
I didn't
face.
say anything.
Because you can see what you're saying.
I said Thor glue. That's you put it when you do the toupee. Everybody knows that. Anyway.
Okay, so here's how we make Richard's little chicken dish that he's been devouring lately. Some Frank's Red Hot Wing Sauce, some regular ranch. Not the cleanest, but, you know, you do you. Some Mission Carb Balanced tortillas. He tolerates these well. It's a hard pass for me, but, you know, whatever works. Some shredded lettuce, and then, of course, the grilled chicken that he made earlier in the video. And we've just cubed that up. And so basically I'm going to portion out about the amount of chicken that I think that he'll be able to have for dinner tonight. Put that in a bowl. We are going to add relatively equal parts of ranch and the wing sauce. You know, you can always use some other ingredients if you wanted to use just hot sauce and some homemade ranch or something like that to make the ingredients a little cleaner. You could certainly do that. And then you basically just put a lid on it and shake. And this is the finished product. So for Richard tonight, he's using the low-carb tortillas, and he's going to have 3. But just to show you how we prepare these, we just use a little bit of the shredded iceberg lettuce on the tortilla. And then we're going to spoon a little bit of that chicken mixture directly on top. And that is it. Absurdly easy, super quick. I mean, once you've got the chicken prepped, there's not much else to do. But this is his favorite, especially in romaine lettuce boats, but I did not have those on hand tonight. So the tortillas will have to do, but yep, this is his dish that he's crushing right now. Last but not least, breakfast sausage. So this is the Carolina Pride hot breakfast sausage that I showed earlier. So less than 1 carb per serving. Serving is 2 ounces, so I split this into 8 2-ounce patties, and I'm getting it all browned up so that we will have some breakfast sausage stashed in the fridge for the week. Some little patties. So that's the last one. Alright. Breakfast sausage is done. I'll let this cool and pack it up and throw it in the fridge. Alright. Last thing is this lemon and garlic pork tenderloin. I'm going to throw this in my air fryer at 375 for about 22 minutes, and then I'll check the temperature. But that's normally where I go with it, about 22 minutes. My air fryer is dirty because I've been cooking a lot in it today, but I'm okay with that. So 375, 22 minutes, circulate. We'll come back and check the internal after that time. Alright, pork tenderloin is out of the air fryer, 375 for 22 minutes, and got it right to an internal temperature of about 148. So it has been resting. I'm going to slice it up and throw it in the fridge, and that'll be another nice, easy, quick, already prepared protein to have in the fridge for the week.